Maya and Illusion, Part 5. Shall we not work to do good then? Yes, with more zest than ever. But what this knowledge will do for us is to break down our fanaticism. The Englishman will no more be a fanatic than and curse the Hindu. He will learn to respect the customs of different nations. There will be less of fanaticism and more of real work. Fanatics cannot work, they waste three-fourths of their energy. It is the level headed, calm, practical man who works. So the power of work will increase from that idea. Knowing that this is the state of things, there will be more patience. The sight of misery or of evil will not be able to throw us off our balance and make us run after shadows. Therefore, patience will come to us knowing that the world will have to go on its own way. If, for instance, all men have become good, the animals will have in the meantime evolved into men and will have to pass through the same state, and so with the plants. But only one thing is certain: the mighty river is rushing towards the ocean, and all the drops that constitute the stream will in time be drawn into that boundless ocean. So, in this life, with all its miseries and sorrows, its joys and smiles and tears, one thing is certain, that all things are rushing towards their goal, and it is only a question of time when you and I, and plants and animals, and every particle of life that exists must reach the infinite ocean of perfection, must attain to freedom to God. Let me repeat once more that the Vedantic position is neither pessimism nor optimism. It does not say that this world is all evil or all good. It says that our evil is of no less value than our good, and our good is of no more value than our evil. They are bound together. This is the world, and knowing this, you work with patience. What for? Why should we work? If this is a state of things, what shall we do? Why not become agnostics? The modern agnostics also know there is no solution of this problem, no getting out of this evil of Maya, as we say in our own language. Therefore, they tell us to be satisfied and enjoy life. Here again is a mistake, a tremendous mistake, a most illogical mistake, and it is this: what do you mean by life? Do you mean only the life of the senses? In this, every one of us differs only slightly from the brutes. I am sure that no one is present here whose life is only in the senses. Then this present life means something more than that. Our feelings, thoughts, and aspirations are all part and parcel of our life, and it is not the struggle towards the great ideal, towards perfection, one of the most important components of what we call life. According to the agnostics, we must enjoy life as it is. But this life means, above all, this search after the ideal, the essence of life is going towards perfection. We must have that, therefore, and therefore we cannot be agnostics or take the world as it appears. The agnostic position takes this life minus the ideal component to be all that exists. And this the agnostic claims cannot be reached, therefore he must give up search. This is what is called Maya, this nature, this universe. All religions are more or less attempts to get beyond nature, the crudest or the most developed, expressed through mythology or symbology, stories of gods, angels, or demons, or through stories of saints or seers, great men or prophets, or through the abstractions of philosophy. All have that one object, all are trying to get beyond these limitations. In one word, they're all struggling towards freedom. Man feels consciously or unconsciously that he is bound. He is not what he wants to be. It was taught to him at the very moment he began to look around. That very instant he learned that he was bound, and he also found that there was something in him which wanted to fly beyond, where the body could not follow, but which was as yet chained down by his limitation. Even in the lowest of religious ideas, where departed ancestors and other spirits, mostly violent and cruel, lurking about the houses of their friends, fond of bloodshed and strong drink, are worshipped, even there we will find that one common factor, that of freedom. The man who wants to worship the gods sees in them, above all things, greater freedom than in himself. If a door is closed, he thinks the gods can get through it, and that walls have no limitations for them. This idea of freedom increases until it comes to the ideal of a personal God, of which the central concept is that he's being beyond the limitations of nature of Maya. I see before me, as it were, that in some of the most forest retreats, this question is being discussed by those ancient sages of India, and in one of them, where even the oldest and the holiest fail to reach the solution, a young man stands up in the midst of them and declares, "Hear you all, children of mortality, hear you all who live in the highest places. I have found the way. By knowing him who is beyond darkness, we can go beyond death." This Maya is everywhere, it is terrible, yet we have to work through it. The man who says that he will work when the world has become all good and then he will enjoy bliss is as likely to succeed as the man who sits beside the Ganga and says, "I will ford the river when all the water has run into the ocean." The way is not with Maya but against it. This is another fact to learn. We are not born as helpers of nature, but competitors with nature. We are its born masters, but we bind ourselves down. Why is this house here? Nature did not build it. Nature says, "Go and live in the forest." Man says, "I will build a house and fight with nature," and he does so. The whole history of humanity is a continuous fight against the so called laws of nature, and man gains in the end. Coming to the internal world, there too the same fight is going on. This fight between the animal man and the spiritual man, between light and darkness, and here too becomes victorious. He, as it were, cuts his way out of nature to freedom. We then see that beyond this Maya, the Vedantic philosophers find something which is not bound by Maya. And if we can get there, we shall not be bound by Maya. This idea is in some form or the other the common property of all religions. But with the Vedanta, it is only the beginning of religion and not the end. The idea of a personal God, the ruler and creator of this universe, as he has been styled, the ruler of Maya or nature, is not the end of these Vedantic ideas. It is only the beginning. The idea grows and grows until the Vedantist finds that he who he thought was standing outside is he himself, and he is in reality within. He is the one who is free, but who through limitation thought he was bound.